That's what you need to think about. Is it going to have a good ROI for you? Are you at a stage where this will benefit you? Hi everybody, it's Alex and welcome back to Guiding Creatives. This is the podcast or community or YouTube channel, wherever you're finding me. This is a community for creatives and multi-passionate people. I show you how to leverage the gig economy to get whatever you may need. So this could be freedom, time, money, opportunity, capacity, inspiration. Maybe you want to build a farm. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you somehow. Today, we're actually going to really focus on freelancing and a freelancing platform specifically. We're going to talk about the Fiverr Seller Plus program. This is a very common question I see. People want to know if Fiverr Seller Plus is worth it. Fiverr is my most successful platform. There's love and hate with people when you talk about Fiverr, but I'm going to give you my very professional and real opinion without any biases of what I think is fair and unfair. I'm going to tell you exactly what I get from Fiverr Seller Plus, and I'm in the premium level, so I'm going to tell you what I get, if it's worth it, and I'm going to break down each little thing you get so you can make an informed decision if you want to pay for it, because the Fiverr Seller Plus program is something you have to pay for. It's like a monthly subscription, which some people have issues with right off the bat, which is fine. I understand, but for me, it's a business expense, it's an investment, so I make it. And what Fiverr Seller Plus is, it's for sellers. That's kind of in the title, but just so I clarify, it's for sellers. It gives you a quote-unquote few extra tools or benefits. However, I get a lot of use out of these. There are two levels, so there's a standard or there's a premium. The standard level I think is a little bit cheaper and you don't get access to 2 features, so it's not that big of a difference, but I'll dive into all the features and I'll dive into the 2 premium ones at the last of it, just so you can know which ones are the additional features if you're in the premium level. So the first thing that grabs attention is a 7-day payment clearance. So I'm pretty sure as a level 2 seller you get 7-day clearance anyway. So I guess that this is offered to people under level 2, then they really want it. I don't know if they've changed it since offering Seller Plus, because I remember when I got to level 2, that was one of the big things. I got a faster payment clearance. So if you are looking to get your funds quicker, this is already something you could invest in. However, you do have to consider if you're paying for Seller Plus, you're going to be paying money to get your money faster. So if that's the only benefit you're going to get out of this video, then I'm not sure if the program's right for you, but it's definitely a good benefit because we all know that waiting for payment to clear, waiting for the invoice to be paid is such a pain. The next one, which also kind of hits a pain point on Fiverr, is you get priority customer support. I've been pretty lucky with my dealings with Fiverr support. I take the effort to protect myself and make sure that if anything comes up, I am prepared to fight it and win it, and I always do, which I'll do another video on sometime. But if you are looking for priority customer service, customer support, this is offered in this program. I will say the first 2 that I'm speaking about are not enough for me to join the program, but they are great benefits of it when you combine it with everything else. The difference in support, I'm not sure. I've been in it for so long, I can't really pinpoint how much better it is, but I will say every interaction I've had has been so smooth. It's been pretty quick on the turnaround. Like, I barely have to wait any time. It's very responsive. If you feel like everybody you're talking to is reading off a sheet or is very robotic, then maybe this is something that you should invest in because you want like a real person who's really understanding your issues, because I definitely feel like I can depend on support. So the next benefit is advanced analytics. You can actually get a huge breakdown of your analytics. I'm going to show some screen recordings on YouTube if you want to look. But you can go into individual gigs and you can look at the keywords they're ranking for. You can go in depth about like who's ordering what. And then you can actually just do a general keyword research to see like what is trending on Fiverr. If you're looking to expand your business, this is such a good process to take because you're actually going to be looking at what people want. And in the time of AI, which I just filmed a video about, people are kind of stressing about how they're going to expand their brand. Obviously, there's going to be some crossover between what Fiverr wants and what the world wants. But if you want Fiverr specific keywords, you can get this in the advanced analytics. And of course, you can just get more depth analytics about your services. So if you're somebody who pays a lot of attention to impressions, clicks, what's working, what's not, what tags are you being found under, this is great for you. This is one of my favorite features, this next one. And this is one, besides the advanced analytics, that has pushed me to be a Seller Plus. So this is highlighted reviews. Right now, reviews are just shown to people on your gigs. If you have this, you can choose, I'm pretty sure up to 5, but at least 3 reviews that you want to highlight as soon as somebody comes to your gig. So instead of it just being generated for you, whether that be by most relevant or most recent, you can go choose 3 specific reviews that you want to show up. We all know how important reviews are on Fiverr, so being able to put your best representation on your gig is very powerful. You know, reviews and referrals are everything. This is something that I use and I love. So if there's one big selling point for me so far, it's this. The next tool or, benefit that you get is definitely 110% my most used tool. And this is something that wouldn't be as needed if Fiverr wasn't set up the way it is. So I feel like when you're working on Fiverr, you need it. It can protect you. And it does also kind of show the cracks in the system sometimes, but it's the buyer analytics. This is different from advanced analytics. When a buyer messages you, I will show you an example. On the right side of your screen, their analytics come up. First, it tells you their completed orders. This is good to see if you're working with a new person, somebody who's not very active, or somebody who is buying all the time. This can also show you there's potential for more orders with this person if they are like continuously buying. One of the most powerful analytics it gives you about buyers is their average rating given. So, you can't expect it to be 5 stars. Okay? If somebody has a lot of orders like this one, you cannot expect it to be 5 stars. There's going to be bad experiences. That's the nature of it. However, I've also been messaged and approached by somebody who had like 5 orders on Fiverr. Their average rating given was 3.8 stars. And the first message they sent me was them complaining about freelancers. Red flag, red flag, red flag, flag is on fire. I didn't work with them. This is where you have to tiptoe because you don't want to turn people away because their average is like 4 or 4.5. You really should look at the number of orders they have and get an impression of how they speak. But as soon as you run into issues, it's also helpful to see that it's probably not an issue with you. This is a difficult buyer. So you do have to be able to work with this with a grain of salt. Like, you have to be very careful. If you are really worried about reviews, if you are in a position where reviews have a big control on you, and this is where the cracks in the system are showing, this is a really good feature to be able to see. But you can see how this also can harm the buyer-seller relationship, but that's the nature of the platform. That's not your fault and it's not the buyer's fault. It's a Fiverr thing they need to work on. This analytic feature also is something that I find really, really great. And this is the average order price. So this is what they average spend on an order. So it can say like under $20 and it might be a range. It could be over $100. And this kind of helps me because I have a bad habit of offering discounts to people without them even asking. Like, if they message me for an order, instead of just sending them my prices that are set there, I just automatically give them a discount that they might not even need. I grew out of that. Don't do that anymore. But this helps because if somebody is messaging me about a very, very expensive order that is $500 and their average buying price is under $20, I make sure to clarify right away so I don't waste either of our time. This is my pricing guide. Is this something you can work with? Now, this is not saying that just because their average buying is under 20 that's all they can afford or that's all they pay. That might just be all they've needed up to now. Don't write people off at this statistic or this data. Just use it to make sure that you don't waste either of your time, and you also convince yourself not to just throw discounts at people. You then have a order repeat rate and an order completion rate. So this shows you how much they repeat orders, so returning clients. This is really good to see the potential if you can have a long-term relationship. And I spoke about this red flag where people promise like more work, but they don't actually show up. They're just manipulating you. If they're promising you like a long-term collaboration and they have a high repeat rate, then they're probably being honest. And then order completion rate, you can see if somebody is just constantly canceling or something is happening. It's just a good indicator of a red flag. It then also tells you their last order. You can just see if they're active. And then it also tells you what they usually order. So you can see where they're coming from. This can be helpful for like upselling extras, building on your services, seeing where your clientele exists so you can approach them and find them more easily. Really, really great stats. This is by far what I use the most, but I think it can be used wrong if you want to give it too much weight or give it too little weight. Like, you need to be able to be very professional and analytical about the data that it provides. The buyer analytics is worth Fiverr Seller Plus alone for me, like 100%. And now you can see that with all these things combined so far, we're already doing amazing. This is already everything I've ever wanted. The next thing you get, and this changes from the premium or standard level, but only by the amount, are coupons. I'm going to be honest, I don't love the coupons. A lot of sellers are misled by coupons because they think if they offer a coupon that Fiverr takes the hit and they still get the money, the original price. You're just offering a discount and putting a coupon on it to make it like look better, I guess. So it's not that great. However, if you use it right, it can be a good feature. A lot of people use this for if you have a slow time or you're looking to get more orders, go through your inbox, go through returning clients, people who've left you on red, or if a conversation fizzled out, you can quickly send a coupon for a service. It's just an easier way to be like, hey, I'm offering a discount, we're having a sale, here's a promotion, like just an easy way to get more orders if you really need to. You also get access to webinars and articles, so it's basically like a Fiverr Learn area. And it's free webinars and articles because you can do paid courses on Fiverr. And I think it's also forum access. I'm not sure if you have that as a normal seller. Again, I haven't been like a normal seller in probably almost a year now. Like as soon as Fiverr Seller Plus started, I was in it. You also get negative keywords. I thought negative keywords is something everybody got, but now I understand that it's Seller Plus. What this means is if you have a service and a lot of people are messaging you, for example, I do YouTube SEO. A lot of people think I do YouTube ads or promotion. So what I can do in the negative keywords is put in ads or promotion. So when people Google YouTube ads, YouTube promotion, I don't appear. I personally don't use these because I'm afraid of where they'll put me, because sometimes people can be looking for organic growth and say promotion, say ads, and then they see my service and they're like, oh, I like this better. I don't personally use it. The only time I would use it probably if I'm getting like a lot of traffic and 0 orders because my gig is ranking somewhere it shouldn't be ranking, because then you can take advantage of it. But I don't really see a big need for it. I don't use it that much. So now we're going to talk about being a premium Fiverr Seller Plus. So what this means is you have a couple extra benefits. So I'm going to outline those now. The first is a success manager. So this means you have like a freelance coach on the platform specifically for Fiverr. And I have seen mixed reviews from other people about this, so I can only speak on my own experience. My Fiverr Seller Plus coach is great. She reaches out to me when she hasn't heard from me, when I've been like tunnel visioned. And when I met with her, it really took my profile and my business to the next level. And I actually have an appointment with her in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited for that. I think if you can find a good coach, you're good. I have heard experiences, like I said, I can't speak for them, but I've heard experiences of people having a success manager that is not great. I do want to remind everyone that this is a new thing, so they're probably still vetting people who make good coaches and mentors, because not everybody can be a mentor and a coach. That's just life. So I think take that with a grain of salt. I've had a lot of great success with it, and I've really enjoyed it. A premium Fiverr Seller Plus, which I did not know until right now doing this video, so I need to get my rear in gear after I film this. I'm a level 2 and I can be a top rated seller, but I haven't become one yet. Apparently with the premium plan, you have priority vetting to be a top rated seller. So top rated seller, if you don't know, even if you achieve the level to become one, you have to be personally picked. I don't know what the criteria is. It's kind of like a little secret in Fiverr. So having your profile be able to be a priority is a big deal, a really big deal. So I think that's what I'm going to speak with my success manager about in a couple weeks, because I didn't even know that that was something available to me. And that's like my next big milestone that I need to hit. The last benefit that you get, which they actually beta tested before adding it to Fiverr Seller Plus. So I had access to this prior to being a Seller Plus, and I actually used it more before than I do now. So you can get early withdrawals. This means 0 clearance days with a fee. I think it's like 0.1%. I think it's, or is it 1%? It could be 1%, but it's a small percentage of your order. Now, this is on top of the 20% Fiverr already takes. But I would like to say this is only for orders that were marked complete. Orders that autocomplete, you have to wait the 7 days, and it's 7 days if you're a Seller Plus. So instead of waiting 7 days, if the order is marked complete, there will be this little clock that shows up. You can click it and you can get your money right away, but you have to pay 1% on top of your 20% to Fiverr to get that really quickly. I did use this a lot when it first came out because I didn't have a steady flow of orders and I used to have to wait 14 days for payments to clear. So obviously I use this a lot. The 7 days now actually works for me pretty good because I have such a steady flow that I'm clearing money every day. So it's not too bad, but I can see where this would be good. If you're only working with a few clients and you have these big orders and you're constantly waiting, this early payout can be really good. Like I said, I've used it when I've needed it and I don't use it when I don't need it. So it's definitely a benefit, but it isn't something that made me jump to Fiverr Seller Plus. To summarize, I really, really like the program. I personally think it's worth the investment. It's a business expense for one, like you can claim it as an expense. It has a really great ROI for me. And that's what you need to think about. Is it going to have a good ROI for you? Are you at a stage where this will benefit you? And you saw that sometimes the individual benefits don't really make it a good selling point, but when you put them all together, amazing. And then there's some features, like especially the buyer analytics, that right away I'm like, okay, like I'm sold, this is something I need. You can debate if this should be free, if we should even be paying for that on top of giving 20%. I think there is something to say about that. I know there's a little bit of fairness and unfairness when it comes to freelancing platforms. We're all aware of that. I think it's something we're overcoming with new platforms, but Fiverr has really equipped me to prepare me for the freelancing world, so I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. And I actually really do enjoy Fiverr Seller Plus, so I wanted to make a video about it because there's mixed opinions. You're going to hear people say it's not worth it. I've given you all the information. Do with that what you will. I will say I'm pretty sure Fiverr Seller Plus is invite only. I think you will get a notification that you can join the program. I don't think it's accessible to everybody. It might be now, I'm not sure. But if you have any questions about it or experiences, you can leave them in the comments. But I want you to remember that one person's experience doesn't speak for everybody. So I've had a great experience. Doesn't mean it's going to be great for everybody. People who've had bad experiences doesn't mean it's a bad thing to have. And your opinions, all that, I love to hear them. But like I said, there's pros and cons to any platform, any business, any industry. But Fiverr Seller Plus has actually really brought a really good return on investment for me. So I do recommend it. I love it. Thank you for watching and listening. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Like, subscribe, follow, wherever you are listening to me. Just do what you need to do to interact with this. It really helps. So thank you and stay creative.